Welcome, dear students. Now let us start our next chapter of political, that is understanding secularism. So in this chapter I would like to highlight so many points. First we'll start with the introductions. Then what is secularism? Why is it important to separate religion from the state? What is Indian secularism? So these are the points we shall learn in this chapter. So let us start with the introduction. Imagine yourself as a Hindu Muslim living a part of USA where the Christianity is the most powerful. Suppose you are the citizen of USA. No one is willing to give you rent house. How will you feel at that time? You will be disappointed. If you decided to complain against this discrimination and were told to go back to India, you will feel very angry, and your anger could take two forms. First, you might react by saying that all religions should equally treated, and secondly, all should get justice. No one should be discriminated and dominated against religion. In our country, any religion, whether it is Hindu, Muslim, or Christian, will be treated equally. No religion will be dominated and promoted because Indian constitution says all religions are equal before the law. We read in the history with many examples of discrimination, exclusion, and persecution. We have heard about Hitler. When he was ruling in Germany, millions of Jews were persecuted and killed. Now, Jews made a new state of Israel. Israel treats its own Muslims and Christians very badly. In South Arabian, non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple and church, etc., and nor can gather in public place for prayer. Through these examples, we can understand that one religion community persecute or discriminate against other religion community. Now we have question here. In India, can the state discriminate against citizen on the ground of their religion? So answer would be no. The state cannot discriminate against citizen on the ground of their religion. Next heading is what is secularism? Fundamental rights that protects us against persecution. Indian constitutions gives freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices depends on them. With this idea of religious freedom to all, India also adopted a strategy of separation the power of religion and the power of the state. Secularism refers to the separation of religion from the state. Next topic is why is it important to separate religion from the state? This is essential to separate the religion from the state. When the government support one religion, what kind of problem generates? We saw the example of Israel, Saudi Arabian, and the Hitler's Germany. It is important for each country so that democracy may work smoothly. Suppose if in our country the most importance given to a particular religion about democracy, do you think is it democracy? No, we will not accept as a democracy because all religions are equal under the Constitution of India. At this present scenario, we see several religions all over the world. Every country has a particular religion strong and number in majority. For example, there is a Hindus in India and there is a Muslims in Pakistan. If they use the state power against other religion within the state, then problem will be created. Majority group may dominate the minority group. That means minorities are not getting their fundamental rights in the state. They are discriminated by majority group. Therefore, there is important to separate religion from the state. Another reason that is important to separate religion from the state in democratic societies is because we also need to protect the freedom of individuals to exit from their religion, embrace another religion, or have the freedom to interpret religious teaching differently. We can take the example of untouchability. You may dislike this practice within Hinduism and therefore you want to remove and reform it. When the power of the government goes into the hands of the Hindus who support untouchability, keep untouchability as it is going on. Do you think that you would have an easy task to try and change this? If being a part of dominant religious group, you might face a lot of problems from the members of your community. These members who have control of the state power might say that there is only one interpretation of Hinduism and that you do not have the freedom to interpret this differently. Next heading is, what is Indian secularism? The Indian Constitution commands that the Indian state be secular. According to the Constitution, only a secular state can realize its objective to ensure the following. First, that one religious community does not dominate another. Second, that some members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. Third, that the state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individuals. Indian state works in many ways to prevent domination. Indian state means government does not involve directly in any religion. The Indian state is not ruled by religious group and nor supported by one religion. In India, government spaces like law, courts, police stations, government schools do not promote any one religion. Here is the story of government high school, where students want to celebrate a religious festival, but teacher refuse them to celebrate any kind of religious festival. Teacher says we cannot give any importance to any one religion. Government school do not celebrate any kind of religious festival in school. Most religious festivals are public holidays so that we can celebrate these at home. From the above story, the government policy treating all religious equally. Government school cannot promote any one religious, either in the morning prayer or religious festival. This rule does not apply to private school. Second ways, government apply non-interference policy in order to respect the sentiments of all the religions and not interfere with religious practices. Here is the story. There is a group of friends here. They have just bought a scooter. They want to go for a ride together. There is a boy who is wearing helmet. He tells to another boy that he also wear helmet, otherwise he will be fined. The second boy who belongs to Sikh community, his name is Paramjit. Paramjit says, "Don't worry, I will not be fined because for Sikh wearing a pagadi is very important part of our religion. The government cannot force me to wear a helmet." From the above story, Paramjit, the Sikh youth, does not have to wear a helmet. This is because the Indian state recognizes that wearing a pagadi, which means turban, in the center to the Sikh religion practice, and in order not to interfere with this, allow an exception in the law. The third way, just now we have read about untouchability. This is a very good example where members of the same religion, upper caste Hindu, dominate other members of the lower caste within it. In order to prevent this, Indian constitutions bans untouchability. Government interfere in religion in order to end the social practices which is based on discrimination and violence in the country. Government interfere in the form of support also. The Indian constitution gives freedom to religious community to set up their own schools and colleges. It is also support financially. In what way is Indian secularism different from other democratic countries? From above objectives, many countries has included rules in constitution in all over the world. The first rule included in USA in constitution. The government cannot follow or support religion and government cannot interfere in any religion internally. The religion also will not interfere in internally matter of the government. These rules were included in the USA. But Indian government interfere in religion, but according to the requirement. If the society is doing bad things, to stop those things. So we can say that Indian secularism is different from USA. If we see USA, separation of the state and religion is very strict, but the Indians may not be. Thus, Indian state is secular and work in various ways to prevent religious domination. With this, we wind up this chapter understanding secularism. Thank you.